Hello, everyone. I'm Corinna here with Metal Toad on day 2 of our Kubernetes Hackathon, and I'm with Team Heavy Frog with Nadia and Michael here to talk about what they're working on. Hi.
Hey everyone, hi.
So tell us a little bit about what you're working on.
Yeah, sure. So our team calls Heavy Frog, and it does for a reason. We are working with loading testing, and loading testing is all about the performance testing of a website, of an endpoint. And we are planning to use Kubernetes to do that, so I don't have to use my computer because my computer is not that great. So the idea is if I have like Michael can explain better later about the Kubernetes. If we can have some clusters in which we call pods, it can run at the same time, the same amount of users and in a really heavy way. So in my machine, I can run 100 users, but if you have like 3 pods from Kubernetes, we can run 300 users at the same time.
Oh, what a difference.
Yeah, and this is heavy, so that's why I have frog. And that would be really great because during my work, I will not have to use my computer for this, so I can do other stuff while Kubernetes is doing the job for me. So basically, it's that. But it's exciting because we have this time. It's basically for ourselves. So this time is for us to understand better the tools we have in our hands and try to transform this in a better way of in working, for example. And I'm discovering like something new for the loading testing that I didn't know. Like we can set up cluster for that. Oh, I didn't know that before. I wish I could. So right now working with Michael, it's giving me this opportunity for learning more and getting my job better.
Michael, do you want to share some of the challenges and your perspective on the hackathon so far?
We have 2 days, 2.5 days to do it. Hoping to be able to do at least the absolute minimum, which as far as I'm concerned is a couple of pods running ideally on multiple nodes, but if not on the same node, generating their stuff and then being able to collate in the outputs. I have found a couple of different people who have done something like this. Typically they'll hook it up to something else. And so again, trying to narrow down what we're doing to just the bare minimum, as opposed to trying to understand a bunch of things that a lot of people like to do in addition to that. So that's been my biggest challenge. The good thing about this is the learning to do something in a way you haven't done it before. The slightly weird problem about this is normally Kubernetes takes in inbound stuff, and then scales or otherwise deals with inbound services running. Here we're kind of running it in reverse. What we want to be able to do is very quickly scale out a bunch of different nodes, which will then hammer somebody else's environment and then get the results and then report back. So in effect, we're slightly inverting what might be considered to be the normal way of doing things. We're not putting up a cluster to kind of hang around for a while. We're just throwing up something to exist for a little bit, do something, report back, and then go away. So I'm attempting to use the init function where stuff basically comes up, does a thing, which will be running the load balancer, reports back, and then goes away. And then as a stretch goal, maybe put up something that will then display the results in a nice, pretty format. But my main goal here is to get the first part, which is the important part, which is get it up and running, do the load test or do the API check, and then go away and then report back.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for sharing what you're working on and some of the challenges that you've come across and your vision for what you're liking to complete tomorrow. I look forward to seeing what your final product is and the presentations, and thank you for talking with us.
Thank you for your time, Corinna.
Thank you, Corinne.